Thank you. So hi, my name is KuroAsterisk, and today I have Sonic and the Secret Rings, an oft-forgotten game on the Wii. It's pretty funky, but we'll get into that, so I think we're ready to start. So, I'll give a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so first things first, we have to go into the tutorial world and be taught how to play as Sonic. You might be thinking, this is a 3D Sonic game, why do you need a tutorial? Thing is, we don't actually use the nunchuck. This is all motion controls. I have deceived you all. So this is entirely motion control based. Sonic will move left to right via the motion controls. And he runs on his own, so this is also an auto runner. This is quite a different control scheme than any other Sonic game, so this has earned many of people's ire. Controlling motion control Sonic is definitely something to be learned. It's not exactly... like, this is definitely a unique game. Nothing else is really like it. So because of this, they put in this whole tutorial world in order to teach you how to actually play as Sonic. So that last mission was just collecting 50 rings by moving left and right. This one teaches how to jump. This one's supposed to teach us how to use charge jumps, but that takes time, so instead we're going to use short hops and jump dashes to get through. But if we held down the jump button, that lets us get a much bigger jump. We will be using that, but for there it's a lot faster just be using short hops and jump dashes. Short hops being done by just tapping the jump button, which is 2 on the Wiimote. And jump dashes are by flicking the Wiimote forward. I have brought the camera out so you can see my motion controls as I do them. So here we're being taught about jump dashes, so this is effectively our homing attack, except when we're not locked onto anything, he'll just dash forward like he does in like the adventure games and whatnot. So even though this is the tutorial, I have lost many runs here, just falling. It's always in the tutorial, never later in the game. But yeah, motion controls can be finicky, but overall they work pretty well. And it has a definitely... it's strange how much of a, like... how precise and, like, deliberate the motion controls are, because it's not just shake. It's not like Mario Galaxy where, like, you just shake anywhere and he spins. Yeah, it's specifically Wiimote forward. You'll also notice whenever I start a... so there's the homing attack. So whenever the red reticle is on an enemy, you can perform a jump dash and it'll turn into a homing attack. So we just have to kill 10 enemies here, and then we're good to go. But yeah, every mission I've been starting with a jump, a little short hop. Sonic starts with at 0 speed, so starting with a little hop helps get him going. Gives him a little burst of movement. However, that's going to change for this one, because this is where we learn how to brake, how to slow down. So Sonic moves automatically, so doing nothing, he'll move, which is a very weird mind thing of, like, when you do nothing, you expect the character to do nothing as well. But we're going to try and brake as little as possible, so we're just going to jump, press brake twice, and then just walk through. We won't be braking a lot, like we won't be using the brake feature, but we'll be using jump cancels. So whenever Sonic is in the air, you can press the brake button in midair, and he will immediately drop down. It's like his stomp in other Sonic games, however, it doesn't have a hitbox yet. So obviously we may not want Sonic to be going forward, so here teaches us how to backstep. So by bringing the Wiimote towards you, Sonic will start moving backwards. So yeah, Sonic's very much like a car in this game. Like, you gotta put him into reverse sometimes. Hopefully we don't see much of it, but sometimes it will be helpful to set some things up. Yeah, it'll make a lot more sense once we're in like actual stages and outside the tutorial. So this one teaches us how to do short hops, which we've already been doing for most all the other ones. So yeah, there's actually Sonic can get like a higher short jump if you like hold down the jump button, I think. I don't actually know how to like get it properly. It's pretty random when it does and doesn't happen. Alright, so we're on our final tutorial stage. And this one teaches us about grinding, so it is back from Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, and stuff. So yeah, this game originally was conceived as a Sonic 06 port to the Wii, but after they saw the Wiimote and what it could offer, they decided to go completely different and make their own thing, and it resulted in this. So you can hop off grind rails yourself. So you see these springs, and we don't want to hit them because they'll just put Sonic in the air and slow him down. And we can also flick the Wiimote left and right in order to move Sonic to another rail. But alright, we are out of the tutorial. We have learned how to control our Sonic, and we are allowed to really start the game. So on to Sand Oasis, the first world. The first real world. Lost Prologue is just kind of there. But yeah, Sonic has been transported to the world of the Arabian Nights, the real-life storybook, also known as like 1001 Nights. And yeah, he was brought by the genie Shara to stop the Eraser Djinn from erasing all the stories. So that's the plot. But yeah, so this is Sand Oasis, which I think is a really gorgeous stage, like, especially for the Wii. I find it really impressive. This is a very visually impressive game. IMO. But yeah, so you see we have rings as a collectible, and we also have these things called soul pearls. Right now these pearls are useless, but once we unlock it, it'll eventually be a gauge to use our boost mechanic. It's very different between what you may know from like Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations. It is quite different. But yeah, Sand Oasis is a lot of visuals going on and not much going on otherwise. Oh, seems I have bumped my shoulder. So, whoops. So one of the most important things in this game is maintaining Sonic's momentum, because he does not have like a spin dash or anything, so you really just have to rely on having your Sonic not hit walls or bump into things, or else he'll lose speed. Eventually we'll have ways to get his speed back, but in the beginning we're just very relying on good movement and trying to avoid obstacles. But this will change later on. So this game actually has some RPG elements. So if you saw at the end of Lost Prologue, Sonic actually got enough experience to level up. And when he levels up, he gains SP, or skill points. And he'll also unlock skills as he levels up and plays certain levels. First of all, here's a Fire Soul. It's the collectible of this game. It's like the star coins in like New Super Mario Bros. They also give you 500 EXP each, which isn't a lot, but it can help because there is a bit of an EXP route. And it's coming up, we have a wall shuffling section, which is pretty slow, so I'm actually going to start this by charging a jump. So Sonic will like start sliding over, and then I'll start wall shuffling. So as you can see, this wall shuffling is pretty slow, so before you get to a wall shuffle section, if you were to hold jump, Sonic will start sliding through. So this very much helps get through the sections a lot faster. We got through like a third of it through sliding alone, which is a lot faster. Anyways, I'm making sure not to hit these spikes. Alright, but now it's just a straightaway where I can just hold right. But yeah, back to like skills. So we'll get skills that will improve Sonic's overall mobility. Some will impact his acceleration, some will some will change his left to right movement, and then there's other fancy skills, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyways, now we just have this end section. Just a bit of tight platforming. Get over here, jump the corner, and now we have a straightaway. So yeah, this game is to anyone who's ever played Sonic and the Secret Rings, not everyone is a fan of the motion controls, and at times I'm not either, but I have, as I started speedrunning it, I have learned to love and appreciate what it is. So anyways, after we beat a mission, we unlock new missions. So next up is Sand Oasis 2. So each mission has a different challenge. So the first level in each world is just reach the end. And most levels are just a variation of said kind of design. So for this one, Sonic will be... so this is the Die Hard challenge. So if we were to die in like the past level, we would get reset at a checkpoint. But here, if we die, we have to restart the entire stage. So typically the first stages are the longest of the worlds. This one is only going to be 30 seconds. Hopefully less. But yeah, so the mission variety definitely like is different, so... Alright. 29.99. Nice. Just barely under 30 seconds. So yeah, the next two missions will be very quick, just like that. So, progression in this game is weird if you want to just beeline to the end of the game, which obviously, as a speedrunner, we want to do. So we did mission 1, and then we did mission 2. So the logical next step is you need to go to mission 5, and then 9. The game never tells you which missions are story required. It's just trial and error if you're not using like a guide. So as much as I will defend this game, that is just really bad design. Because as a kid, I had no idea what to do, or which missions were just optional or not. But yeah, this mission is a special challenge, so this is a unique mission. If we break a... It's don't break the jars. So as you can see, there's various jars around the map, and if I were to brush up against them, they'll break and I'll lose the mission, and I have to restart. So I have to make very sure I'm holding straight ahead, not to hit the jars. We're also coming to this S-curve section where I have to hold left, then right, and left in order to avoid it. And then we have this final section. I'm gonna wait till this wait till the flamethrower is gone, so I have a clear path. Because if I homing attack into an enemy and there's fire there, Sonic will take damage and then he'll fall into the jar, and I'll lose. So it's very important to make sure you have a clear path. So yeah, now we go to mission 9, obviously, in order to unlock the next world. So in each world, we're supposed to be collecting the World Ring. There are 7 World Rings. They are the Chaos Emerald equivalent of this game. And they're also required to beat the final boss. So each world, minus Lost Prologue, has one. But after this, we're going to go to the next world, Dinosaur Jungle. We could stay in Sand Oasis and get the next... get its World Ring, but it's a lot slower to do so. We want to wait till we get our boost. So this mission is the exact opposite of the last. Now we are incentivized to break the jars. So we want to break 5 jars. So the next 3 will be coming up. In order to not lose momentum, I'll like jump into them and brush his shoulder against it, so he still has some speed going through. Then we homing attack. And that's that. So we did those first 4 missions of Sand Oasis. We've unlocked Dinosaur Jungle, and we'll head there now. So we're also level 4, so we have a decent amount of SP to work with, and we also unlock some skills. So before we head into the mission, we'll equip them on our ring. So we go here, go to custom, and we'll put on Turbo Boost, Pearl Collector, and Mini Turbo. Turbo Boost just increases our acceleration, just so Sonic can get to top speed faster. Pearl Collector will like give us a magnet to collect those pearls, which currently do not matter or contribute to anything. And Mini Turbo was that. So when the timer's at 1, if you flick the Wiimote forward, you'll have a little boost at the start. So this is better to having to just jump at the start of every level. So yeah, we'll be rocking with that skill set throughout the entirety of Dinosaur Jungle. So right now we have our like gun truck section, you know, where something's chasing you from behind. In this case, it's Triceratops. So here we have our first like mount section where like we'll start riding something. So yeah, in these sections you're just, I mean, the game is already an auto runner, but this is like you're just moving left to right explicitly. So we want to take this right path because it's a bit faster. We'll have to make sure we hit the springs on the good side and not the spike side. Those are one of the worst obstacles in the game. I did not mean to hit that guy, but that's fine. Yeah. There's some, this is pretty, one of the tougher levels in the game. Just because you're very limited in your skills. It'll get very advanced later on, but yeah. What's supposed to happen, we want to avoid enemies when possible. Obviously, spending time fighting will just take time, and there's no benefit to doing it. So we have these flying pots where we have to shake the Wiimote up and down in order to elevate. And yeah, so it goes by very fast compared to like if you played this game as a kid or before. But yeah, I was very bad at this game as a kid. I did not get very far. Like, I got to like the end of this world and that's about it. I didn't know how to progress. So that was part of my reason for speedrunning this game. It was like redemption for me as a kid. But yeah, so we have this section, avoiding these spike balls because they'll knock us into the water. Now we have the T-Rex section. So here the audio mixing is really good, as in it's really bad. So we have to rely on the T-Rex to chomp away the rocks. So hopefully it'll come here. Alright. A bit slow that he took that pattern. That's one of the few sections of RNG. Unfortunate. Alright. So that was also the first time I got hit, I believe. So, hold on, wait. Let me actually focus for this skip. Oh, never mind, I don't need it. Alright. So I got pretty battered and bruised there. It's RNG what the dinosaur does, so it's a bit hard to react. So that's the first time I got hit. So at the end of each stage, you get a EXP multiplier for the EXP you accumulated through the stage. So if you go untouched, it's a ×2 multiplier. Then if you get hit once, it's a 1.5 times multiplier, and it keeps going down until it eventually gets to a 1 times multiplier, so pretty much nothing. There is a pretty, we'd want to get enough EXP throughout the game. Just to reach certain thresholds to equip skills and whatnot. So you do need to be somewhat conscientious about how much damage you're taking. But there's enough of a buffer where, like, you know, it's not like you get hit once and, like, you can't do the run anymore. So there's a bit of leeway in that regard. Alright, so here we have another Die Hard challenge. So we'll start immediately from this section we were just at the end of the last level. So a lot of the other missions pretty much take from like the main mission or a like secondary area, and they'll just change up the obstacles. Like the ring positions and the spike balls are all different. Here, instead of the T-Rex, it'll just be spike balls. So yeah, we need to rush through. I'm attempting to jump over these wall shuffle sections because much slower to actually do them. Gonna launch ourselves over the rock, and then we'll do some homing attacks to get through these enemies. So there's different enemy types, so the fire-breathing ones take 2 hits in order to actually defeat. Alright. So here, it's a lot faster to be like constantly short hopping uphill than it is to start running. So here we're gonna do this homing attack here. We're gonna stomp down. Just try to avoid enemies, because we can't just try and instantly do a jump dash over, because Sonic will just lock on to the enemy and homing attack. Alright, and then there's these cacti, which are just on our path, and they have hitboxes, so take care to dodge them, and we're good to go. Alright, so coming up we have a new mission type. This one is Rampage. So, most of the levels we've been playing are some variation of Reach the End. But just like the Break the Jar mission, some of the missions will have us just reach a certain number and then the level will end. So in this case we need to beat 10 enemies. And a lot of the times in these missions, you can go to like separate paths or do different things in order to get enemies to spawn. So obviously that is nice for us if we want to beat the level as fast as possible. So we have to press that button to get the spring so we can go to this flower genie. And these catapults. I hate these catapults, by the way. They're so hard to use. It's very tough. So yeah, those flowers take 3 hits rather. Then there's these fire-breathing ones. Sonic's hitbox is still active, so you can just kind of wait on top of them. It just lines up perfectly where you don't need to homing attack them twice. But yeah, anyways, 1, 2, 3. Now we have another button to press to get a spring. And as you can see, we have to rely on using the back step in order to reach the spring. So we'll wait till he shoots 2 attacks so we can homing attack over. Alright. And now we have 5 more left, so we're gonna actually activate an alternative path. So we're gonna start charging a jump now, wait for these springs to appear, and hit this button. This will change that dinosaur's head to bring us to a path with 3 more enemies. So we can end the mission right now. Otherwise we'd have to go through another log ride section, and that is slow. Yeah. Also, at the end of every mission, you may see me change my like hand position. This is just so I can mash the buttons in order to get through all the screens. All right. So next up, we have the opposite mission. This is going to be stealth attack. So instead of having to kill X amount of enemies, if we kill any enemy, we lose the mission and we have to restart. So these missions can be quite annoying because they will love to throw enemies right in your face and you are not allowed to kill them. Here are air launchers. We can just... it'll shoot you furthest if you wait it out, but we can just immediately activate them and it'll get us on our way. So yeah, as you can see, we had to jump over an enemy. Very hard to do, because Sonic will love to just go on like a murderous rampage. So we're actually going to hit that enemy once, just to get onto this log. Then we're gonna wait till this air launcher gets small, like so. Just go right over that enemy, and end of the stage. Alright, so we unlocked the next world, so in order to, like, you know, keep progressing, we could technically just leave, but we still haven't gotten the world ring, and we're gonna do that now. So it's just one more mission in order to get the world ring. So, just like the Rampage mission, we have to... Well, I guess it's more like the Jar mission. We have to break 5 spirit eggs. What are they? I don't know. They just tell us to break them, so... You have to make sure not to do, like, any movement during the countdown, or else it'll lock you out of doing the mini turbo, so... I always make sure I'm very still. So here's a spirit egg. We're gonna jump over. So there's actually 6 eggs on this path, but obviously we'll only need 5, and getting the 6th one is slow, so we'll just be progressing as usual. Alright, so here we have another jar section. Alright, here we have to make sure we don't hit the iron balls. Hopefully we get a good pattern. Alright. Sometimes they can juke you out. It's cycle-based, but it's hard to tell what cycle you're on because of how inconsistent it is to get there. But yeah, generally cycles are pretty, most things in this game are consistent because Sonic this is an auto runner, so Sonic will always move at the same way. But yeah, sometimes it can be a bit finicky. So anyways, we have to beat these 3 enemies to get this egg, go in the catapult, launch ourselves, and here's the final one. Alright. And with that, we are done with Dinosaur Jungle. We have done it all. So we have gotten the green world ring. So each world ring also has an emotion. So this is the... I believe this is the emotion of hatred. But yeah, so anyways, we're done with Dinosaur Jungle completely, and now we get to go to Evil Foundry. So first, add some more skills, quick step and quick air. That helps our movement left to right, both on the ground and in the air. It just makes it smoother. But here we have one of the most iconic songs of the game. Who's gonna rock the place? I'll let it speak for itself for a bit.
Is this a castle?
Such a banger. Alright, so here we have another wall shuffle section, so charge the jump right before, wait for that spike. So yeah, if Sonic, when he's in wall shuffling section, if he's hit, he just immediately falls off and dies, so you have to take a lot of care that he doesn't do that. Whoops, I was hoping to crab on the rail. Typically, Sonic has, like, magnet feet to grind rails, but I guess there he wasn't feeling it. Alright, gonna weave through there. Now we have this, we're gonna have this really fast fan. Generally I go completely right, but I'm gonna go more center. Okay, good. It's always a mystery as to where that hitbox will be. Alright. So as you can see, we want to avoid enemies as much as possible. It just takes time fighting, so if we can just run past them, we will. Alright, nice. Alright, so like most Sonic games, we're on the top path right now, and we want to make sure we stay there. Alright, make this jump, nice, and I even snagged the Fire Soul. So yeah, Fire Souls, again, only 500 EXP. Like, to get a full level, you need, like, 9,000, 10,000 EXP. So, it's very marginal, but it helps, especially if you're getting hit a lot during a level. It can definitely even out with Fire Souls. but we'll never go out of our way to get a Fire Soul. It's just, if they're on the path, we'll pick it up if we can. But yeah, it's not worth going out of our way to try and secure them. So here we're gonna have a quick air and come into play. So to get past these crushers, we're gonna jump on the side of them. So our left to right movement speed has increased. It may not be that noticeable, but as the player, it definitely helps. All right, get through these crushers. All right, nice. Avoid that enemy. Onto this air launcher. All right, so we're near the end of this stage. Coming up, we have a pretty dangerous homing attack section. Really gave me a lot of trouble starting out, but I've found a setup to get things working. So we homing attack these machines. So I'm gonna jump dash, hold a jump. All right, there. Sometimes the homing reticle will just disappear, and you know that's not good. All right, now we do this air launcher, avoid the spike ball. All right, and now there's a blind section. I just have to react to these spike balls. Okay, nice. All right, I think that was a damageless Evil Foundry, which is pretty nice. Those are a rarity. So yeah, at the time we're probably looking at is 340 something. Hopefully it's low, like 345. Okay, 343. Nice. The best you can do there is like a 342 with the current skills equipped, that is. So we can't actually we cannot continue Evil Foundry. Just in the story, there's a huge fire golem, and we can't beat that at the moment. So we have to go back, and we go back to Sand Oasis. So now we will finish Sand Oasis, and the reason we stalled so long is, one, just get more skills, and two, now that we beat Evil Foundry, we have the soul gauge. So you'll see on the right side of the screen, we have a gauge. Oh yeah, this mission, we're racing this blue orb that you saw at the beginning. It'll just eat our dust, so it's pretty much just reached the end. But as you can see on the bottom right, we have this thing called the soul gauge. So as I collect these pearls, it'll fill up. So once it turns orange, that means I have enough in order to activate either speed break or time break. You activate these with the D-pad. D-pad up will be speed break, and D-pad down will be time break. Time break will have very limited use because it slows down everything. But speed break, on the other hand, acts as our boost. So as you can see, we can just really go far ahead with speed break. Unfortunately, unlike the other incarnations of the boost mechanic, it is very committal. You have like almost no left to right movement. You just go so fast, and like it's really hard to like control. So yeah, it's extremely committal, but very helpful if we know we have a long straightaway coming. So yeah, as the speedrun uses it very often, as much as we can, pretty much. So here we have another Die Hard challenge, so just don't die. But as you can see, so the game completely changes from how it was before. Now we will be using the speed break whenever we can. So here we'll speed break to get through this enemy, stop it. You can stop it by pressing up on the D-pad again. So you don't have to wait till the gauge runs out. Okay, gonna try and get this Fire Soul. Nice. That's a little hard to time, because if you're too late, you hit a spike ball. Speed break through here. We're gonna cut it off right now, because we want to keep some of that gauge. We want to make sure we have enough to where we can get to orange again, and activate another time break. So yeah, if you remember our one skill, Pearl Collector, that comes into play here. So the radius that Sonic has in order to collect them is just bigger. So pretty much Sonic doesn't have to be like literally touching the pearls to collect them. He can just actually like capped on the rings that we can collect on the top left. So yeah, this changes here though. So it acts as our defense. So every time we get hit, we lose 20 rings. But yeah, here we have a special collect the rings stage. So it's set to 99 and we have to collect 99 rings. So here, there are rings in the air, but it's a lot slower to jump. It's just easier to just keep running. Gonna move past those spikes. So yeah, collect as much soul pearls and rings as we can. Those silver rings count for 20, which is real nice. Alright, now we'll speed break through. We'll hit a button to bring more rings up to us, and that is the level. Alright, so we have one more level before the boss of this world. This is Beat the Clock. So it's another just reach the end, but now there's a time limit. Obviously that won't really affect us, but we will get there with time to spare. But yeah, because there's a Beat the Clock stage, the dev team love to just throw things in your path. There's jars, there's springs that just launch you in the air and do nothing. It just puts you in the air just to stall time. So it's very important you dodge those. But yeah, if you can see on the top right, we now have a counter. So if all goes well, we get to the end with that counter at 55. So we're gonna do a big jump here. Alright, do this rail grind section. Alright, so after we make this jump, nice, I need to hold completely straight. Alright, and then hold right. So hopefully this will let me phase through a wall. Nope, it did not. Alright. Well, unfortunate. So what should have happened is I phased through a wall, but it's kind of hard to set up, so oh well. I guess you got to see the wall that I was supposed to phase through. It's hard to line that up. You need to be like completely center and then start your speed break and then hold as far right as possible. But anywho, we have the boss of this world, and it is the Sand Scorpion. So some worlds will have bosses that you need to beat in order to get the world ring, and this is one of them. So this has, you have to hit it 3 times. We're gonna get the first and second hits at the same time. So what's supposed to happen is the Sand Scorpion will slam its one of its legs down, then you homing attack up to its big eye. We're supposed to do that twice, but if we do a time break and slow down time, we can get to the eye. All right. A bit slower. You're supposed to hit the eye directly, but that works too. So time break slows everything down, which gives you the time to actually homing attack. So that's a bit slower than what it should have been. My homing attack didn't go off immediately, but that's okay. It was still decent. There's also RNG as to when the Sand Scorpion will slam down its leg, so 'tis another factor. Okay. Got it. Alright, so this is Levitated Ruins. So we finished with the Sand Oasis. And now we are here at Levitated Ruins, which is a very scenic area. There's also the only level theme that does not have any vocals in its level theme, but still quite a banger nonetheless. Wait, I don't remember. Anyway, so here we're gonna get these big soul pearls. They count for 20 pearls, I believe. So yeah, this is a long stage. This takes like a very long time. However, we're gonna cut it in half using a skip. But first we need to get there, so do some good old platforming and stuff. Here we have a new enemy type, the Gargoyle. If they do that, they become immune to damage, which just wastes time, but so be it. Alright, they can also create these light paths, so sometimes you're supposed to have scripted movement on these areas, and we'll actually abuse that for the skip we're gonna do later on. So here, those missiles, by the way, have hitboxes, so I'm very grateful none of them hit me. We're gonna thread that needle right there to get through. Hop on this grind rail. Alright, and now, so coming up, we'll have our skip. So it'll be obvious that something doesn't look right. But I need to time this jump. If I don't, if I'm too late, then I have to restart the level because I only get one shot at it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So I'll just focus up real quick and hope I hit it. And if I get it, you'll see. Okay. I did not get it, in fact. Seems my Wiimote decided to do a homing attack. It was being a bit finicky. The batteries are a bit loose, so oh well. So we have to restart the level. It's actually faster to restart the level than it is to finish the stage from there. That's how much time that trick saves. So a bit unfortunate I missed it, but we get to see this pretty stage again, so it's not the worst case scenario. But yeah, what happened there is I tried to do a jump, but the game read that I did a jump dash, so bit unfortunate. Next time I do it, I'll make sure I am standing completely still to hopefully avoid that from happening. But yeah, that's definitely one of the most taxing skips in the game. Like, you pretty much have to do it, and there's really no alternative if you miss it. You just have to reset. It's the only trick like that where there's just no recovery for it. But it's alright. It takes like 2 minutes to get back, so it is alright. So we're here with more gauge here, so hopefully this gets us through safer. So I speed brake here just to avoid these missiles, because they have hitboxes and they love to just hit them in the back, and there's not much I can do about it to avoid it. Because my movement is pretty limited on those light rail sections. Alright. Thread that needle once again. So some runners opt to save their speed brake for that in order to speed brake through the enemies. So your speed break, kind of like the other versions of boost, it will defeat enemies. Some enemies, not all of them, but yeah, for the basic goons, it'll just go right through them. So anyways, back at this section, I'm going to really focus up and make sure I don't mess it up. Alright. Unfortunate. So I landed, which is not supposed to happen. Alright. So if I miss it one more time, then I will just beat the level normally. Because, which is going to be bad because it takes a long time and I'm not super practiced on the second half of the level, but, I think I got my timing down now. So hopefully you folks enjoy this level. But yeah, that's a very hard trick for me to learn initially. Generally I've gotten better at it, but there are times when I just don't have a good day getting that skip. And it turns out today is one of those days. Yeah, I swear, it'll look cool once I get it. Alright. Good, the gargoyle decided to play nice. Alright, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Maybe dehydration is my issue. So whenever you see those like big rings of soul pearls, you'll see that I like to like kind of move Sonic like into them left and right. It helps get more soul pearls than it is just standing straight. Alright. At least I got that part down. Sometimes there's wind blowing against you here, so Sonic will be pushed back. Alright. Alright, I'm limber, I'm loose. Time for this trick again. Alright, there we go. That's what we want. So Sonic's not supposed to be in the air here. So we need to move him right to the point where his gravity returns to him. And that will knock him off like so. And now we're in this section. Alright. So, otherwise, there's like 4 more minutes to the level if we didn't do this skip. So what's supposed to happen is we take on this very long section. Oh, okay. Sonic decided to just run past everything. Alright. Alright, it was a bit rough getting here, but that is okay. So yeah, typically you finish that level in like 6 minutes, and that we got there in 3:13. So unfortunately I missed the trick a couple times, but it only wastes a little bit of time that I didn't just beat the level normally. But let's do a bit of a palate cleanse, you know? I was on that level for a long time. Let's really speed this up. Let's, I'm feeling like a short one today. And you'll see why. This is the shortest level in the game. And we're done. That's it. Yeah, that was a rampage mission where you had to defeat 1 enemy. So unfortunately, now we have to go to the longest level in the game. Although it won't be as long as the total time that first mission took, because there's there's no huge skip that I need to reset for. But this is very long. So here we have Knuckles, or he's Sinbad, the adventurer in this universe. So there are 4 locks to his cage, and we need to unlock them by going to 4 different towers and moving a mirror in order to get light to smite them. So yeah, we have to reach the 4 towers. We have to scale them all in their own way. We're gonna wall slide here. Alright, nice. Alright, so as you can see, we move a mirror away from the sun, which gets the light somehow. So yeah, we get teleported back to the starting section with Sinbad, and we move back. So yeah, there's 4 towers. Alright, so here we're gonna make sure we wait for the genie in the middle. So yeah, here we're gonna have to wait because at the top there's going to be a little something waiting for us, that being a big spike ball that we just have to respect or it'll knock us down to the bottom. So now we wait. It's really unfortunate. There's really nothing I can do but respect it. I wish we could just rush ahead, but like the cycles just don't line up. Also, it's better to be cautious just for EXP as well. Alright, so we're gonna speed break through that section to get to the next part. Just using the speed break because we have it. There's not really other time to use it. There's no long straightaways. Alright, here we have to unlock this door, which involves beating this purple enemy. Hitting that button. Now we get to go through. I hope you recognize, or I hope you remember this tower, because we'll see it again in another mission. It'll use the same environment. Alright, dodging those spikes. Now we're going to do a jump, hit this button in the center, and this will launch us to these air launchers in the center. Which has us skip having to do the rest of that tower normally. And we get a fire soul, which is nice. Alright, so we have one more tower, one more zipline section to go. So we'll speed break to there. Alright, so here, you just hold left, then you hold center, and then you hold left, and you'll dodge it every time. Alright, here there's a catapult, and if I do this immediately, I can just graze by the spike ball, like that. Alright, now we have to move backwards in order to get inside the building. And a nice. Alright, so we'll be, this is more of a puzzly tower, even though, you know, it's an auto runner, you go straight ahead, but wait for the spikes, because there's, no reason to be rash. Anyways, we have to hit these buttons to unlock springs at the bottom. And this one will get us to the top. We get to the final thing. Alright, final lever. We'll be teleported back. Do a sick backflip for some reason. And we beat the level. So yeah, that was a... You expect around a 420 there. So yeah, most levels, most of the longer ones anyway, finish between like 3:30 and 4 minutes. So that one's just a tad bit longer than the other ones. Alright, so Here we have another Die Hard challenge. This will take place in the third tower of the level we just played, with different environments and stuff. It also lets us do a funky thing for some reason. I don't know why it works, but it does. So that is quaint. So if we do a homing attack like that, Sonic will turn backwards for some reason and hit that spring, which I don't know why he does it, but it's really useful. Anyways, we'll move backwards, hit the spring, we'll speed break through to defeat the enemies, and reach the top. Unfortunately, we can't stop speed break when in midair, otherwise we would speed break through those enemies, but oh well. We can just jump over them instead and call it a day. Okay, we're good on EXP. I see we have the level 16 skills, so that's good. Something's going right. Anyways, before we leave Levitated Ruins, we gotta get the World Ring. And we do this via another rampage. So, unlike the other rampage we did in Dinosaur Jungle, this one is going to be a bit different. So how these rampage missions are structured is that it's one big loop. So you go through, like, it's one big circle that you go around, and you keep going through until you get all the enemies you need. However, we're going to, there are huge, like, droughts of enemies where there's just no enemies nearby, and we just have to run. So instead, we're gonna just chill in this section. So you see these two enemies here. So we're gonna, instead of progressing, we'll, stomp down, we'll move here, wait for them to respawn, and then keep doing that. So we'll do this loop 5 more times in order to reach 20. This is significantly faster than going through the rest of the level, because there's a lot of just like running to the next part and no enemies. So this is leagues faster than doing it normally. I have to make sure Sonic doesn't move too far forward or else he'll fall off, so you'll see me like doing like some backwards movement in order to stall Sonic. Alright, so nice. Alright, so now that was, we got ourselves another World Ring, our Magic MacGuffin, and now we are off to Pirate Storm. So I very recently changed the menu routing, so I'm gonna do a bit. Let me see. Boop, boop, boop. Backstep, and okay. So I optimized the menus a bit to save a bit of time and like kind of like when we can use things. So yeah, we have a new bit new skill set for Pirate Storm. So we improved our homing attacks, the range and like rate we can do them, and we also have this thing called cancel dash. So whenever I do a jump cancel, when I like stomp while in midair, when I land I get this little burst of speed. If you see that like wind effect that surrounds Sonic, whenever I stomp, he'll immediately start with speed. So you can think of it like a drop dash from like Mania. But yeah, so typically before we equip this much later, but equipping cancel dash now makes this level go by a lot faster. So yeah, it really helps because it also means if we're ever at a standstill, we can immediately progress. We can immediately have speed to move. I just waited for that barrel because it's very easy to like be just barely off cycle. I probably could have made it, but I don't want to die. I'm taking things pretty safe after that pretty bad Levitated Ruins. But I will do that. So cancel dash is really nice. It's gonna pair well with another skill we'll get later, but cancel dash is really good. So Anyways, we're being launched on a bullet bill here. So you can see I do that left to right movement to collect as many pearls as possible. Alright, we're gonna hit this enemy, homing attack over. That prevents having to, like, unlock a gate. I had to very specifically use that catapult halfway, as opposed to the full distance. Oh. That was weird, but I'll take it. I thought I fell to the bottom path, but I guess there's an invisible floor there, so we take those. It's very important to stay on the top path on that part specifically, because otherwise you need to beat enemies to get a spring in order to go up, and it's just a whole process. Alright, we're gonna hit this guy quickly. I don't know why the audio's messed up here. It always messes up. But anyway. So, we stayed on the top path somehow, so that's nice. Here we're gonna hold left in order to avoid these spike balls. They love throwing spike balls at you. Homing attack on those swords, and now we grind to this section. So here we're gonna have some disappearing enemies, so they love to bait you here. So make sure not to homing attack, do a jump here, hit the second one, and then progress as normal. Alright, hopefully we can phase through the... Ah, it still works. Okay. There's a way you can, like, phase through that collision, but... Oh well. I don't know how to get it consistently. But anyways, now we have this surfing section. Jumping over waves. We have to avoid these, like, crates in the water, otherwise they slow us down. So nice. It's just muscle memory at this point that I know how to dodge them. Alright, so now we're at the end of the level. Just need to do some things real quick. Alright. And we're almost at the goal. So we have to avoid these cannonballs. They do have hitboxes. So very important we avoid that. And there's the goal. So yeah, before the new menu optimization with skills, that you typically expect like a 440, 430, but there I got a 404, so it saves a decent chunk of time just to do that menuing there, as opposed to later. But alright, so obviously we don't do mission 2 because that's just optional. We go immediately to mission 9. You know, obviously. I don't know why I'm saying it. That was such an obvious way of progression that I'm sure everyone would have expected that. But here we have a Die Hard challenge, so if we die, we have to restart. Alright. So yeah, I took off Mini Turbo because it's just easier to use the jump cancel. We used to still have Mini Turbo at this point, so some of my muscle memory showing through. Alright, we're gonna try and hit the sword, avoid that spike ball. Nice. You'll notice if I like really want to get a homing attack out, I'll just start like shaking a lot just to try and get like buffer a homing attack as quickly as possible. Alright, we're gonna snag this fire soul, jump here. As per usual, the spike balls are annoying. If we hit it while in the pot will break and then we'll fall to our death. Which is not good in a Die Hard challenge, if you can imagine. Alright, hopefully this ball doesn't hit us. Nice! And that is the end. So I hope you like that whole environment, because we're doing the same exact thing for the next one. It's a bit different. Instead of a Die Hard challenge, it is a stealth attack. So now there's just going to put enemies in front of us, and we're not allowed to kill them, or else we lose the mission and have to restart. And that's no good. Alright, so yeah, same exact thing. There's this spike ball spring that we need to wait out for once again. We need to make sure we homing attack the spring and not the enemy. Alright, but as you can see, so kind of the same deal, but just slightly different. So instead of swords, we have to just platform up there ourselves. Alright. Sometimes Sonic can just miss the rail for whatever reason, so I'm glad that didn't happen there. Alright, we're gonna... okay. That's fine. So yeah, very carefully time how we elevate ourselves with the pot. Alright, and yeah, so this guy is just here to bait you, just like really want you to try and go fast, but I know its tricks. So yeah, that's kind of the diabolical level design that I was mentioning before. It very much wants to like get you. Alright, so next up we unlock mission 5, and we go there. So it's another Rampage mission. Same deal as the last Rampage mission, we're just going to loop the same enemies. So you'll see the cycle. It's pretty quick and dirty. So we get through this section, go here, 1, 2, 3, and then we back up. So another skill I equipped is this backflip. It just makes you move back faster. So, yeah, you have seen the strat now. So 1, 2, 3, speed break. 1, 2, 3, and you get it. So we do this till we reach 20. So it's actually extremely important we get, okay, now I need to be a bit careful because I got hit and I don't want to die. But we do want to be very careful to get a good time here. So if you notice at the end of levels, you get a medal. You get the medal based on the time you get. So there is no medal, bronze, silver, and gold. Gold is like the fastest you can do it. So you just need to beat the level in a certain threshold. So for here, I think it's like 120, which will beat like will be super under. But if you get a gold medal in certain stages, you unlock a special skill. In this case, we unlock a special skill called Sub W Boost. It's a substitute for Warp Boost, which is a super late game skill you're supposed to get, which gives you top acceleration. It's a substitute because the drawback is that you lose... wait, let me think. Okay. The drawback with it is you take more damage, so instead of losing 20 rings per hit, you lose 40. But we get... but now we have top acceleration. We have maximum acceleration. We also have this skill called Speed Up. This is a boss stage, so you won't see it much, but the next stages you'll definitely see our speed. So this is a pretty gross fight in terms it's just kind of disgusting. You have to rip out this guy's horns, and there's like gunk that comes out of him. It's pretty gross. Pretty grody. So, oops. Okay, that's bad that I got hit, but I think I'll be okay. It just, because, you know, that EXP multiplier. I think I'm fine on EXP, but, you know, bit unfortunate. Alright, I want to make sure I hold left or right in order to dodge that wave attack. If I hold too far left or right, Sonic will, like, kind of bug out, so I need to be very careful. I'm holding just enough left or right. So there's a lot of nuance, as you can imagine, in this game, in terms of, like, angles and what have you. And yeah, so this is my shaking mechanic. in order to do that boss fight well. I got hit, which is not good, so instead of a ×2 multiplier, I only get a 1.5. So I lose that one a bit. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Losing out on a tad bit. We were ahead going into it, so we're pretty much fine. So we're done with Pirate Storm. We get the Water World Ring, and this lets us this will let us douse that fire golem that stopped us at Evil Foundry. So we're going back to beat the boss and get the World Ring at Evil Foundry. So this is the last backtracking we'll do. After this, we just go straight ahead through the worlds. But yeah, so this is just a straight running section, so you'll see our speed. Get to this top path. Alright, good. I was able to hold straight to get those soul pearls. That's really important. Because it lets me do this. Yeah, so Speed Break lets you go through some obstacles, like spikes, but not other things. So you can't go through a spike ball, but you can go through the spikes on the ground. But yeah, we are really fast now. As you can see, Sonic's even more like jittery than he was before. If you also notice, when I was doing jump cancels, in addition to the cancel dash, that like little burst of speed, there's now a fire effect to it. So this is a skill called Fire Gaze. And now our Stomp actually has a hitbox. And it does a good amount of damage. It does more than our homing attack does. So we'll be using that to our advantage in the boss. So this is a 3-phase boss. This is very reminiscent of the Rock Golem in Sonic Adventure 2. Where you have to like run around it, get to the top of its head. But yeah, we'll be using the Stomp in order to deal more damage than our homing attacks can do. So we have to hit its fingers first, like that. So we immediately use our new skill to hit the fingers, but we'll also use it here. So gonna wait till... Alright, so 1, 2... I need to restart. Okay. Sonic is in a bad position. It's very important we don't do phase 3, because it takes a long time. Okay, I don't know why Sonic was being weird there. Alright, so let's try this again. I'll go from here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I did 2 homing attacks, and then a... Whoops. Alright. So good. Now we'll speed break through, and now we'll do a single homing attack and a stomp. So 1, 2, and we're done. So the stomp does more damage than our homing attacks. You're only supposed to get 3 homing attacks in per, like, phase. But because of the stomps, we deal much more damage. Sonic's position can be kind of wonky. So hence why I had to restart. I tried to homing attack, but Sonic ended up doing a jump dash because he wasn't locked on. For whatever reason. Who knows with Sonic. I like to say, instead of, like, you know, this being my controller, it's more my suggestion stick. I suggest Sonic to do things, and he'll maybe, if he's feeling up to it, he'll do it. Alright, so, we beat the boss, but it turns out there was a bomb in his heart, so in order to not blow up the entire facility, we are running out to get the bomb out of the building. So this is another beat the clock section, just get to the end in time. So we're going to take these invisible rails in order to get through. Alright, homing attacks, please work. Alright, so yeah, now that we pretty much have all the skills we need. Not all of them, but most of them. So movement becomes very smooth and fluid. Alright. We're gonna wait for this air launcher so we can be sent like that. speed break through. So yeah, we have a lot of movement abilities on our side. Alright, so hopefully we get enough soul in order to do this next section. We want to be able to get through this entire staircase, so let's hope. Okay, nice. Good. Just one last air launcher, and now we just go straight ahead. Alright, and nice. So that's the end of Evil Foundry, so turns out the bomb also held the World Ring, so we have the World Ring of Evil Foundry. So that means there's only 2 worlds left. So we are nearing endgame, but, you know, ways to go. We got 2 whole worlds before we do that. And one of those worlds is Skeleton Dome, which is this one. So yeah, this part of the run is probably my favorite, because we have like pretty much all our skills, so Sonic is very nice to control. And we got a lot of skills to help him maintain speed or pick up speed, should we ever lose it. Alright, so hopefully I hold right enough and I'll just kind of launch up in the air. Nice. We'll speed break through. We'll reach these enemies, stomp them. Alright, nice. So we want to go on the upper path, so we want to make sure we stay on these rails, so... Jumping off. We don't want to hit the springs because it's slow. It's nice, we got to the upper path. I don't even remember what's on the bottom path, I've done this so many times. It's just nice and easy. So we speed break here through a bunch of pearls so we can maintain the speed break. So yeah, as you can see, Sonic moving very fast. Like, just his run cycle is just really fast now. It's just a side effect of the skills, which I find funny. So yeah, we're skipping that boost ramp because it's a lot faster just to move ourselves. And now we have my least favorite enemy type in the game. These dual-wielding skeletons. When they're spinning, Sonic cannot speed break into them because they'll just hit him out of it. It's really annoying. Another side effect of getting hit is you lose your soul gauge. Like, you lose a bunch of soul, which means you cannot boost. So it can kind of mess up some of the route I want to do through the level. Alright, here we're coming up to another wall slide section and a bunch of spike balls, which are oh so fun. I say that sarcastically. I hate these things. Alright. So yeah, there's a railing there, so if you get hit, you can grab on and, you know, not completely fall off and die. We're gonna have to do that section again in another stage, and we do not have that safety net, unfortunately. Okay, so here we hold left, then right to avoid those axes. Alright, hopefully we speed break through the spike ball, like so. It's kind of hard to time, because if you're a bit too late, you'll just go directly into the spike ball. So ideally we keep our soul gauge, but we need to make it through this next section unscathed. So first, go through there, make it through these skeletons, hit this one before it can hit us. Alright, good. It's really hard to maintain your soul through all that. Alright, nice. So yeah, as you saw, I bumped into the chest and just moved backwards into the boost pad. Alright, we're gonna stall in the air, wait till that axe is out of the way. Then we'll speed break through. And that's the end of the stage. That went pretty well. Yeah, 325, that's really good. Alright, nice. Okay, we're good on EXP, so even though I messed up a little bit, not too bad. Alright, so next up, we have a big rampage mission. We have 40 enemies to kill, so we're gonna edit our moveset a bit to make sure we have enough to handle everything. So, turbo jump, homing stability, okay. Yeah, this is a really fun level to do optimally. This does involve a little bit of RNG from the enemies, but hopefully they cooperate. And yeah, also there's like some cycle business, but again, hopefully they cooperate. Alright, let's start it up. So yeah, this is a very movement-based. As you can see, it's a very wide area as well. Alright, hopefully we make this. Okay, nice. It's always scary. Alright, and because of the skills we have called turbo jump, we can make that jump from there as opposed to waiting for a spring. So we went through that whole cycle once in order to activate the skeletons. So here, I'm gonna stall hopefully one of them moves. Okay, nice. Good, so there's actually 41 enemies on our path, and we only need 40, so that means I can skip one. So I'm gonna skip this one on our right. It's just slower to try and get. Alright, and then it's these final enemies. I will just chill in the launcher until it counts it all. Nice. Alright, that's about as well as you can do that level, so I'm happy. Love it when things go well. So, okay, I think I'm level 26 now, which will mean I can do my final menu of the run. Yep, okay. So I'm going to remove turbo jump, Aegis slider, and skimmer. Okay, so now we're done with menuing and skills. We are just now going straight through the levels. We have everything we need. So the new skills I just equipped, they'll come up later. Skimmer, so whenever we charge a jump, we slide. So for those wall shuffling sections, it makes us go further. We decrease our deceleration. Alright, so this mission, we have to collect these 5 bones. The king of this realm has his bones all scattered, and we need to pick them up for him. Alright, fun. God, I hate the skeletons so much. They just have such an active hitbox. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stomp, and then attack that guy. Alright, nice. Alright, we have to reach this hand, which you can just homing attack into, as opposed to having to chase it down. I'm gonna take this a little bit safe. Alright, nice. Alright, so here, skimmer, we get to go further, but I'm actually gonna stop to hopefully affect the cycle. Hopefully I get a good cycle through this. This is looking really bad. Okay, run. You're at the whims of those cycles, which really suck. Because sometimes you can just be really, really bad cycle. Alright, but that's alright. We have our soul gauge, which is the important part. So yeah, if we got hit by those spike balls on that section, we would just fall to our death, and that is really slow. Because we'd spawn immediately on the wall shuffle section, and we don't have any means to start a slide, so we just have to shuffle, and that's really slow. So yeah, not the best it could have been, because I had to wait for a good cycle, but we'll take it. So now we have one more. So we already collected the world ring, but we need to unlock the final world. So we have yet another rampage. So unfortunately the skeletons, sometimes they act like dry bones, like where they'll just like crumble and then come back alive. Only some of them do. Some of them can actually be defeated, and you can't tell which ones are which. So if you see me skipping skeletons, that's because they don't count. So I'm gonna skip these ones, hit this... Oop. Gonna hit this button. Alright, hold on, I'm a bit off cycle now. Alright, cool. I was a bit off cycle, because I missed the button the first time, but we got the enemies we needed. So because we have all the skills we need, I no longer have to care about getting hit. Obviously, getting hit is slow, but we don't need to worry about EXP anymore, which is very nice. Alright, nice. So these are going to be disappearing, reappearing, so I'm going to wait. Alright, now I'm going to wait for this guy to appear and then speed break. Alright, and now we stomp these three, and that's the mission. Alright, that was a little slow because of the first part, but otherwise, that went pretty well. And now we're on to the final world of the game, Night Palace. Which is a very pretty area. I really like it. It can be a bit annoying at times, especially some of the later missions, but the first mission, go for the goal, is not that bad.
So this is where a razor is.
So if I do this frame perfectly, I can start a slide once I exit here. I didn't hit it. Oh well. But yeah, you can start a wall slide so you can do something like this. Another skill we have is called Aegis Slider, which when we're sliding makes us immune to damage. So typically the spikes would knock us off, but because of that skill, we can just go right through them. It's great. Such a great skill. Alright, so now we're gonna do our classic hold right to win Sonic strategy. You know, just like in the 2D games, you know, hold right to win. Here, holding right just avoids all the hitboxes, so Sonic is safe. Alright. Now we speed break and go into another riding section. This time we have full movement via the magic carpet. We do have to be careful about the iron balls, because that will kill us, and we have to restart the section. Fortunately, all the positions are, like, guaranteed, or consistent. So I know where I need to go. So here I'll take the top corner, move right, move back. Yeah, it's pretty hard to go through that blind. Because it's hard to tell where Sonic is, like, trying to go. Alright, now we have... So the end is down there, but we have to fix these gates. So we have to go into these Maelströms and go into these really pretty glass pane sections. Like, this is a really neat place. So yeah, those spears, they have hitboxes, and if you go into the area where they destroy, you'll die. So it can be pretty harrowing, to say the least. So we have to hit these time glasses, hourglasses, I guess. And then we go into this section with poisonous gas. And we hit another hourglass, and the gate will revert itself to being fixed. So we have to do this 3 times, so that was the first time. So we'll ride this hidden rail over this section, just to avoid all the spears. Speed break through. Just a nice runway. Also, it avoids, we're faster than the spears that are behind us. And, it's not fun getting hit, if you can imagine. Alright, so that's gate number 2, and now we have one more before the end. Alright, one more hidden rail. We'll do our cancel dash to get some speed. And there we are. So one more section, just go right, avoid everything. Alright, then jump over these areas, hit that. Now I have to wait 2 seconds, because the gate here is slower for some reason. Otherwise you just bonk and then it's annoying. Alright, at 340, that's, yeah. It's really funny that like all the main stages, like most of them are finished like around like 3 minutes 40 seconds, which I just find really funny of that like consistency, with, like the optimal any percent route. Anyway. So now we have a head-to-head, our last one against Uhu. So this one has, there's a lot going on. Hopefully I don't get messed up too bad. But yeah, it's the same starting section as the last level we played. So we're gonna avoid these crates. Hopefully maybe get the frame perfect thing now. Nope, missed. Alright, so if I got it, I could have avoided this enemy, but now I just have to wait. So be it. Anyways, fortunately we can still slide through all this, which is very nice. Alright, so now we'll speed break through here. I'll wait for this to run out. Alright, nice. So as you saw, that was a spinny spike ball slash spring, and it can be rough getting that to cooperate with you. Fortunately, I found like a setup to where it's like mostly consistent, but it can still be very scary. Talking about very scary, so here we have a Die Hard challenge. This is a very robust Die Hard challenge compared to the other ones. Like this one's like pretty lengthy, and there's a lot going on. There's also a skip that I can do near the end. If I get it, alright, yeah, let's be optimistic. If I get it, it saves a minute over doing the level normally. But in reality, it's if I miss it, I lose a minute. If you're the glass half empty mentality. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I only get like one shot at it, but I don't need to restart the level. I can just do it normally. So it's not like Levitated Ruins where like I like need to get it, but it helps a lot. And since I already had to restart Levitated Ruins twice, I would prefer to get it. But that's just me. Alright, so we're gonna hit the spring. So yeah, there's a lot to say about the movement of this game. There's just so much nuance and things I just take for granted, but learning this game was so difficult. But it's really rewarding once you like dedicate yourself and learn the game. So if you want a speedrun that's completely different from anything else you've ever done, I highly recommend Secret Rings. It'll be the most infuriating and rewarding experiences of your life. Emphasis on the infuriating part. Alright, so here we have spears coming directly at us, but we have Aegis Slider, so as long as we're holding a jump, we can avoid the hitboxes. Otherwise, you're just guaranteed to get hit. There's like nothing you can do. Besides, I guess, use Time Break, but, you know, that's slow. Okay, so here it is. It's this section. So, as you can see, the room is rotating. So, let me set this up. Alright. I only get one shot. Let's see if I can line this up. Alright, and then I need to hold up slightly. Nice, I got it. Okay, so as you saw, I, like, hopped over everything. So I call it, like, a wall run. So if you miss that, you have to backtrack, activate a catapult, and, like, do all this extra stuff in order to reach that top section. But I hit it. It's very hard to do that consistently. It's like, I wait for the enemies in order to, like, have a, like, favorable positioning. I don't know how much it matters, but, like, it ends up working pretty well. Alright, so even though we only have, like, a couple more missions left, we have a new mission type. This is called Hands Off. you need to finish the stage with 0 rings. And as you know in Sonic, if you get hit, you lose your rings. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna play this level normally, and then at the end, we get hit. So it's very, yeah. It's fine just getting hit at the end. I mean, there's so many rings here that, like, you're bound to accidentally pick up one, so it's really not even worth your time trying to avoid them. But yeah, so another good thing, I guess, about, if you remember one skill that, like, is a trade-off, we get max acceleration, but we take double damage, so we lose 40 rings as opposed to 20. It actually helps in this area specifically, because here you want to lose your rings, so if you accidentally get more than 20, you can just, it's fine. As long as you have 40, then, like, you're good to go. So as you can see, we just ran through, wait till we got to the laser section, hit ourselves, and then finished. Otherwise, we'd fail, and then we'd have to redo it. So this is the last normal mission in the game. After this, it is the final 2 fights. But yeah, so this is another Rampage mission. Same deal, but as opposed to, we're gonna start with these 3 enemies, but we're actually gonna go past them once we hit 12. So we stay here up until we reach 12, then we continue on. Because then there's a good batch of enemies, but it's a one-way, so 'tis unfortunate that we can't just, because there's a huge batch of enemies later in the level, but the, like, glass pane breaks, so we can't go backwards. Alright. Nice. I'm actually surprised I got those double hits. Those are actually hard to get. Like, the stomp has a bit of AoE to it. Anyways, I have to stall. Uh-oh. I need to hit you, sir. I need to hit you, sir. Alright. That was a little sketchy, but whatever. That one's hard, because you have to stall to make sure you don't hit his fire breath. Because otherwise you fall, like what I did, but I waited too much, and I lost the reticle on him, so unfortunate. But okay, that's the last. So now it's just the final 2 fights. So we have all the rings now, but we first need to beat the fake final boss before getting to the real final boss. So we do battle with the main antagonist of the game, Eraser Jin. Yeah, this is this is a really hard fight. So he's entirely consistent with what he does. Like, if you do the same exact thing every time, he will be the same exact same every time. So if you hit him, like, the exact number of times, his AI will do the same thing. However, hitting him is very hard. It's a very short window. So before that, though, we need to, you know, wait for him to become vulnerable. So he'll do these, like, V and, like, I attacks. Here, we can't counterattack, but when he does an L attack, like here, when he's slashing horizontally, he will be open to attack. So that's a very small window to counterattack him. So yeah, he has that L attack and Z attack we can counter, and he also has this. These are the head-to-head sections. So I wait for this second text box to appear, and once it disappears, I release jump and then react to homing attack. Oh, I missed. I don't... Okay, whatever. So he's gonna be a bit off cycle now. I don't know exactly what he'll do. So now I just have to react. Which is a lot of fun. Typically I hit him. That's actually pretty bad that I missed him, but so be it. So I don't know what he's going to do. Alright. So yeah, I just, so he's entirely off cycle now, so I just have to react. Okay. That's, yeah, I've never seen that cycle before, so I just have to be very careful with what he does. Okay. So I imagine he does a Z attack soon. Okay. Yeah. Dang, I never missed the first head. Typically the head-to-head combat thing's the easiest thing. So okay, let's do it correctly this time. Okay. So after this, I release jump and then I react. Okay, there. I don't know how I missed that the first time. I think I may have done it too early. Okay. I think he does the Z attack. So I have lost track on how much damage I've done to him, so we'll just see. That's alright. This fight's really hard to do well. I really despise doing this fight. Okay, I think he's like a couple hits away from defeat. Okay, I think he'll do a Z attack now. Okay. Unfortunate. I'm a little disappointed in myself that I let the fight go away that soon, but that's fine. So anyways, now we have all the world rings, and so now we can reach the final boss, but we had to find him for 230, that's really bad. But yeah, so after this fight there are fake credits, and you can't skip it, so I will actually be resetting my Wii console, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have reset the console, because just to skip the credits, I waited till it's saved, if you saw the red ring at the bottom, right? So now we will become Darkspine Sonic. He will absorb the powers of 3 world rings with the emotions of sadness, hatred, and rage, which are the exact feelings I have playing this game. But anyway, I also have a magic tool to help me in this fight, and it is none other than the Nintendo Wii Wheel. I wish I was joking, but you'll see why I need it. There's a lot of shaking involved, and this helps give me leverage. I cannot do this fight without the Wii Wheel. I'm so serious. Like, I wish this was a joke. I wish this thing was not the only thing between me and the final boss. But anyways, so we need to charge our soul gauge. So we're like forced to get hit there pretty much, so hopefully I get to full before he gets to me. Okay, good. So he won't do his big ball attack until I'm at full soul gauge. So it's very important I get to full. So now I speed break against it, and then shake. Alright, to knock it back at him. I'm gonna pop out the Wiimote because it's easier for me to do the section without it. Alright, and then we whack him. Alright. I felt the batteries rumble, so I'm just making sure they're secure. Alright. So we'll get 3 hits. This is a 3-phase fight, so he has 7 hits, and we do 3 at a time. Alright, good. So, same thing as like when we're normal Sonic, if we get hit, we lose half our soul gauge. So it's very important we don't get hit in order to do this fight fast. So there's a chance I get the 2 cycle. It's very hard. It's a frame perfect thing, and it involves like a frame perfect shake. So who knows if I'll get it. I'll let you know if I do, but I'm assuming we go to phase 3. Oh, we got it. Wait, never mind. Oh, I got the 2 cycle. Oh, sick. That was frame perfect. Okay, so time's coming up very soon. It's like 10 seconds. Okay. Well, that went well. So that saves like 40 seconds. It's so stupid. It's at the end of the run. It's so hard to time, but I got it. Okay, so time's in 3, 2, 1, time.
GG.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was Sonic and the Secret Rings. A bit unfortunate that Levitated Ruins went so poorly, but and also the Eraser fight, but overall pretty good. So yeah, that was Sonic and the Secret Rings. So it's a very neat game. I, like many, despised it for like its motion controls and whatever, but dedicating yourself to the game. It's really cool. So yeah, if you have any interest, I highly recommend. It's a huge learning curve to get to, like, playing this game very well. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Any shout outs you want to give? Also, Wii Wheel for the
Yeah,
win.
Wii Wheel for the oh, we love the Wii Wheel, baby. Shout out to my Wii Wheel. That's it. I like literally my only friend in Sonic and Secret Ring speedrunning is the Wii Wheel. I like everyone else gave me advice, and then I thought about the Wii Wheel as a joke, and then I used it and it actually worked. I'm like, I can't believe it. Like, the leverage it gives is insane. So yeah, shout out Wii Wheel. That's it for me. The best accessory of the game. But yeah, that's it.
Wii Wheel, best wheel.
Wii Wheel, best wheel. Bless up.
Alright, well, thanks so much for that run.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what my time was, by the way? Okay, cool. I still underestimated.